Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Wish You Were Beer Show, a weekly live beer review show that we do every Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time here on YouTube. You can find it on Facebook. You can also find it on Twitter. If you're new to us or if you've seen a lot of our episodes, you may notice that we are in 3 different rooms this evening.
Do you remember when we used to be able to sit next to each other?
Yeah, I remember that. That was nice. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
There's been a bout of COVID within the staff here at Wish You Were Beer Show, i.e., one of us has it, and so
Wait, there it is.
So I'm dying.
Right. So Tiffany and I are separating as much as possible, or keeping our distance as much as possible currently. But yeah, so we're in different rooms for the first time on this show, which is very strange.
Yeah, it's very weird, especially because normally the two of you look so pretty because you have your setup so well done.
Yeah.
And then tonight
now
you were like,
well, garbage. We just took
yeah. You look like week 2 of this show right now.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I have my throat tea here. I've got my liquid Theraflu here and liquid acetaminophen, rather. That's always a liquid, is Theraflu. Brain fog's a real thing.
Timmy's going to be having like a little John mixture in this show, like a little bit of Saison, a little bit of Theraflu.
Right. Purple drank.
Purple drank.
I don't think we're actually allowed to say that. I think that's copyrighted.
I mean,
so for those of you who may be joining us for the first time, like I said, we do this show every week, every Thursday. There's going to be a lot of Tiffany coughing in this one, so luckily she knows where the mute button is on her own screen, just in case that continues to happen. But we do this show every week. You can also follow us, like I said earlier, on all of our different social media channels. So you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook. You can go to our website, which is wishyouwerebeershow.com. We try to keep an updated schedule of all the different beers that we're going to be having, all the beers we've had in the past. We've got some blog information as well on the website. So make sure you check us out any way you can. On the YouTube page here, make sure you like and subscribe to it, obviously. Come follow us on Instagram as well. We've been trying to start doing some live Instagrams a couple of times a week as well, just to check in with everybody. So make sure you follow along any way you can. Untapped is another great way. So in the About section on the show, we've got all of our individual untaps as well as our show untaps, so you can see all the beers that way that we've had and all the beers we've had individually. But yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by. As always, I'm Daniel. The beautiful COVID woman next to me up top on the screen is Tiffany, and Phil's at the bottom. This makes so much sense.
Although no one told
really
me
does.
that I have this plant growing out of my head when we were.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah, you know, neither of us are going to pick out any of that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I would expect a little better from you all.
That's on me. I apologize. I should have saw that, and I should have alerted you to that.
Yeah.
That was definitely on you. Yeah.
So Phil, you're what, week 1 down there?
I finished 1 week, 11 to go. You know, it's been a good week. I did actually find a brewery I had never seen before.
Nice.
And so for those of you who missed last week, I am on the island of St. Martin right now. So I'm down in the Caribbean. And they've got some breweries here. I haven't visited any of them yet, but I got 11 more weeks to go. I'm sure I'll get to one. But I ended up randomly walking into one while I was working. And it was I just saw the sign, and it just said FWI, which is French West Indies Beer and Brewery. And I was like, okay. So I walked in, but it was almost 2:00. And because this is a French island, at 2:00, everything shuts down. So I walk in.
Hold on, what?
Yeah, thank you for clarifying what FWI stands for, because I saw your post and I was like,
I was like, oh yeah,
invite.
This area is called the West Indies, and I'm in the French West Indies. Currently now I'm in the Dutch West Indies, technically, because I'm on the Dutch side at the moment.
Killer shoes.
Whole thing, yeah. So I go in because they close down for their like lunch, and they just close down until 4.
Oh, okay.
And I go in at like 1:55, and they've got 3 beers. They have a FW IPA. They've
Makes
got
sense.
a Saison, a French Saison, and then they've got a Weiss beer. And she was like, I don't have the FW IPA, which is like the one I wanted. She was like, and also we're about to shut down, so you're getting a Saison, and I'm putting it in a cup, and you can leave, pretty much, but like in a much friendlier way, of course.
Sounds like a great place.
Yeah, I was like, okay. So she like poured it into a cup. She goes, here. She goes, you can go sit outside in our patio if you want, and then they like shut the gates. And so I was just out on this patio, just sitting having a beer. But it was good. Found it on Untapped, so that was exciting.
Cool.
So I got to try. I've got to go back and try. She said they'll have the FW IPA in at some point. So
that's what I was gonna say. She handed you a to-go beer and didn't even know it. You can sit on the patio, yeah, because I'm not just gonna go drive home with this.
I mean, you could kind of do that here. So
you can kind of do that anywhere that you don't get bored.
Sure.
We do not recommend drinking and driving, for the record.
No, never.
Based off of how we drink, I barely recommend drinking and walking. Also a very dangerous sport.
Unless
Drinking
you find a
and
palm
sitting.
frond.
Yes. If you find a palm frond.
Then drinking and walking is highly recommended.
But, because I said I would introduce a different St. Martin beer every time for the show.
Yeah.
So tonight I actually don't have a St. Martin beer necessarily, but I've got these drinks. Hold on, let me just grab it from the fridge. So I bought these, and they're so gross, but I had to do it because they make me laugh. So they have these drinks. It's not St. Martin necessarily. It's the Caribbean. They're called Rude Boys.
Okay.
Okay.
And
do tell.
Okay, so they just make me laugh because they've got like a pot leaf on them. They're called Rude Boys. But the first Rude Boy is basically like, I want to say like a Four Loko. So it's like kind of like got that like caffeine, energy, ginseng sort of thing. So it's just a spirit. But I was like, I got to get this one. So I've had this one before, and then I came down this trip, and they've got 2 more. So I was like, damn it, I have to drink these ones too, even though I know they're going to be gross. And so this one is actually a passion mango flavor, but they actually put, hold on, I'll cover there we go. But they actually put that it's a premium vodka drink with horny goat weed.
Oh, yeah. Not to say I'm familiar with horny goat weed, but I do it all the time.
Beg to differ based on that expression. We are apart on separate ends of the house for one night.
He's got a horny goat back there.
I'm looking, getting back into my horny goat weed stash.
But so just when you think it couldn't get worse, right?
Right.
So this one is 7%.
All week.
It gets better. This one's 7%, which is like, okay. This one is 5%, which is weird because you think the vodka one would be stronger. But they came out with Rude Boy Extreme. And this one is 12%. Also, but it's premium vodka. It's not that cheap shit.
No.
So it's premium vodka with horny goat weed.
What makes vodka premium versus not? I don't remember ever not seeing it say premium vodka.
I mean, when you go to a bar, they're going to ask you if you want rail vodka
if you want,
or well vodka.
Yeah, if you want top shelf or
top shelf premium.
But on the bottle, I think it always says, not those ones. You've just read me.
Let me look.
I know that those ones.
Phil's like, hold on, let me check.
Well, so which one should I drink tonight on the show? Because I got to drink something
while the Saison that we are drinking is a 9%. So,
I'll go with this. I already drank this one.
You started with the 5. Good.
Well, I drank that one a different night, but I saved the bottle so I could share it with you.
Nice.
All right, I'll do Rude Boy Classic.
You can't go wrong with a classic.
So that's what my week's been like.
I love it. I love that we're gonna have a saison on the show tonight, and Phil's just wrecking his palate with a 4 Loko from the West Indies.
Let me pour it into a glass. Let's get a real good look at this piss Rude Boy. Oh, it looks like a Red Bull.
It does.
No, like a Red Bull? That would be the...
It definitely smells like energy drink. Like, it's got that, like... Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is what people come for. They come for the...
They come for your 4 and 4 Loko reviews.
All right. How's your week been?
Our week's been great, Phil.
I hate that I'm coming back to it, by the way.
Well, maybe it was.
This was a theme for you, though. I seem to remember on the Warhead video, you continued to drink it and said, "Why am I drinking it?" And they're like, "Hand it to me. I'm gonna drink more of it."
Yeah. Well, now that it's like coated everything, you don't taste it as much. So.
That's an interesting review.
Oh,
so, my review on Rude Boys. They're gross. What about you?
I mean, our week's been shit, obviously, Phil. Tiffany has COVID. She's been deathly ill all week. I've been trying to keep it together at the seams.
Yeah,
It's gone pretty well.
So my work, you get like plenty of PTO, but you don't get sick leave. And so I was like, I'm not going to use my PTO if I'm sick and I'm working from home anyway. So I opted to work this week, and I accomplished everything that needed to get done, or at least delegated it out. But I feel like I haven't really done a week's worth of work kind of thing by Thursday today. Yesterday I facilitated a workshop, but all of my questions were very convoluted because I couldn't put words together.
They were like our trivia.
But like worse. That's what I'm saying. Like,
worse.
I'm not the right person to have brain fog with COVID. So anyway, I finally got a positive test today, even though I took the tests on earlier this week. Yeah. And so now I get to use COVID leave, which is like sick leave. But I'm like, by the time Monday rolls around, I'm probably going to be better. And so I'll only have taken like half a day today and tomorrow when I'm eligible for like 80 hours of COVID leave.
Now, is it 80 hours a year, or is it 80 hours every time you get COVID?
It's 80 hours indefinite. Like that's it. So if you get COVID 4 times, I don't know how that's a thing, but if you get COVID 4 times, like that 80 hours has to last those 4 times. In theory, I shouldn't have caught it at all. But here I am.
Living your best damn life. It could be worse. You could be having a rude boy.
Well,
I'm so scared about the extreme, I will say.
Making me laugh makes me wheezy, and then I'll start coughing. So no laughing. We're done.
We don't try to make people laugh on this show. We try. We haven't been successful.
This isn't our Hang with Mr. Cooper show.
Oh God, I was watching an episode the other day.
I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, what are we drinking tonight? We've already kind of talked about it.
Yeah,
this is yogi tea, and it's throat soothing.
Not what are you drinking now? What are we drinking on the show? The name of the... Come on, COVID. We might have to cut you off. What are we drinking? Who wants to pronounce it?
Tiffany knows how to pronounce it.
It's it's Saison Diebolt.
You feel comfortable with it?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, I hope they're not watching. Or else comment.
But
I'm number
one. On me, it's fine.
I'm excited for a Saison. Anytime, every time there's a Saison in play, I'm excited, and it's a 9%er, and it's listed as a winter saison, which makes me even more interested in it, because it's probably gonna have some spice aspects to it that most saisons don't have, which is cool. So that would be my guess just from reading the can, which is about the amount of research that I have done.
God, Mr. Research. I was shocked to see the 9% on this one.
Yeah.
I've looked at the can a bunch. I was like, oh, this looks like a nice, enjoyable beer based on just can alone. You know, I'm a can art person. I just skipped over the 9% fact until tonight, and I looked at it. I was like, whoa. Okay. I was like, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, what are they? A Rude Boy Extreme? I mean,
Rude Boy's getting so much free time.
Well, hopefully they don't come after me because I'm not speaking highly of it.
I think they will. No. Now, so we got this one from Beer Drop, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, there. Okay, cool.
So this is a Colorado-based beer. They are out of Colorado, of course, because it came from Beer Drop.
Denver.
They're out of Denver?
Ish. I don't know. It might be the suburbs, which is like different.
You can't just be like Denver.
You said it so confidently too. No, they are in Denver. They're on Mariposa Street in Denver. In case you wonder where that street is, I have their website up right now.
I just assumed that it's like Denver, but you know how like when you have a city and there's like suburbs that are like named different things, like different towns or whatever, but it's like the greater Denver area.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go back.
Last time I was working with the city planner for a large city, I remember having this exact conversation. No.
Well, they were having a water crisis. I mean, they still are having a water crisis. But that's my saving the planet episode where I'm in my trouble.
Just a solo episode.
Yeah.
She has way more viewership for her solo episode.
So many. Well, doesn't surprise me at all.
We play Guess the Houseplant.
Yeah, so we got this one for Beer Drop. If you are interested in Beer Drop, we do have a link in our account somewhere on our website or in the YouTube. But just know you will get a lot of Colorado kind of based beers. I think they're probably expanding, but it's not a bad thing though, because Colorado's got great beers.
Yes, they do.
And we've had a lot from them, so I'm not mad about it.
Daniel and I have actually had a beer from this brewery already.
Yeah.
Did it come in an old Beer Drop?
Yeah.
Shipment?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it was like one of our first Beer Drop shipments. Like,
I can't remember. It was pretty good.
It was a while ago.
It was like an amber ale mixed with a saison, so it was like entry level saison. I liked it.
Yeah, it was like a gateway saison.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm excited about this one, but first, you guys want to do a little of something else so that
history and facts? I think we should. So, for those of you who may not be as familiar with the show as Tiffany is, sometimes, this is the portion of the show where typically we go through what we consider to be history and facts, but it's kind of morphed into more of trivia, either about the brewery, the beer. Sometimes, you know, what day of the month it is. We go down a couple of different rabbit holes, but typically it's about the brewery and the beer. So Tiffany is going to be asking questions that are multiple choice or true or false for the most part. So you guys can comment along and play along in the comment section. There's a little bit of a lag, so give it a second or two. But Phil and I will also try to guess the trivia along with whoever deems it necessary to comment. And if you're unfamiliar with the show, I'm like 49 for 49. So go.
Killer.
All right. Diebolt Brewery is family owned and has a long family heritage making bourbon, wine, beer, or cider.
I don't want it to be beer now that you said duh, because I'm like, well, yeah. Sure, that's what it is. I'm an idiot if I don't pick that. assuming they're out of Colorado and their family heritage is in Colorado, I'm going to say wine instead. I'm going to go with B. Colorado, not really known for bourbon, I don't think, right?
Well, how do you know their family history is in Colorado?
I'm making a very large assumption here, like I normally do with trivia.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Daniel's, all his research really pays off in this trivia.
Thank you.
He read the thing and said Denver. All right.
I'm going with wine as well, but I did look into a little bit about this brewery and the fact that they are, I think the name is French. So I'm going with wine French, I'm assuming.
Okay.
So that's where I'm going to go.
Let's see. We've got bread.
I like that Andy said going off boom. Wait, going off boom. So now not only do I have to drag his comments in, I have to drag his fucking corrections in as well. Yeah. This is getting to be a hassle.
Vero said wine. All right. The answer is wine.
Again, 50 for 50.
So I know this is somewhere in here. Oh yeah. So it's a dad and son duo, and they created their own brewery, which was they used their like French heritage. Their last name is French. It's Diebolt, and it traces back to, I'll say, Lorraine region of France, where their ancestors used to make wine. And fun fact, the brewery is currently in a old meat packing facility. So that's fun.
You and I have different definitions of fun.
I don't know, Phil. An abandoned meat packing plant sounds about where you go to have fun.
That's just the name of the bars I go to.
So all right, so good. So French heritage. I was in the right vein. I know.
Any more, Tiffany? Or are we ready for question 2?
We're good. I don't. There's a lot of text here. I gotta try and like read through. So
good plan.
All right. Saison can be roughly translated to cheers to beers on the account that Saison beers are brewed in the fall and winter and then were drunk by summer workers called saisonniers. Also, I originally had typed this and I said were drank by summer workers, and Google was like, "You dumb bitch, it's drunk." And I was very upset because I was
Google
like,
said, "You're drunk."
That doesn't sound right. And then I was like, "Nope, just kidding. I can't trust myself for anything right now."
But wait, didn't we kind of talk about this on one of our previous shows as well?
We have talked about saisons, yes, and the saisonniers and how they were brewed for them, and they were a cheaper version of beer.
Right,
and usually a lower ABV, so it's more of like a hydration. Like it's
so
like
you can do it at work. That's usually what I say. It's a low ABV. I can have it at work.
Yeah, anything under 5, you can have at work. In my
Thank
book.
you.
Right, my
but I feel like the word saisonnière would have come up in our last talk about saison.
It did.
Yeah, I know. Tiffany just used it in a sentence talking about our last show. I don't think she's that committed to the falsifying of words.
Okay.
I think for me, what throws me off is cheers to beers.
Yeah.
I think that's completely false. So I'm going to say false.
Saison means season, I believe. So it would be cheers to the season.
Quite the Latin.
Cheers. But isn't c'est la vie means what? Like, the hell does it mean?
The hell would I know?
It's a common term. People say.
Yeah, I use it all the time. It's so common. I'm always going out the door like, oh, c'est la vie.
Well, there's that S Club 7 song called C'est la vie. So we all know it.
That is such a random thing to pull off.
All right, Tiffany. Is it true or false? I'm going false as well.
It is false. Sorry, I'll try and cough this way. So, Selah means it is, or tis. And so this is tis the season is what it means. Because once again, it locked on me. Oh, there we go. Where did this one? It's brewed every year, and it's usually brewed in like the winter months, and so the winter is the winter season. Anyway, that's all I got right now, guys.
We're just gonna keep going.
Yeah, wait a minute. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, is this question number 3?
It is.
Jackpot. So,
All right.
this is normally the part of the show once we get a couple of questions into trivia, that we're actually going to crack the beer open, pour it, and kind of drink off of it over the next couple of questions, so that we can get a full flavor profile off of it, and not just tell you what I think of it off the first sip, because that's always dangerous.
I gotta rinse out the rude boy out of my mouth.
Oh gosh. If I had a quarter for every time I've said that at a ska show.
All right. Continue.
Tiffany's going to keep going on trivia, but so far it's an extremely pretty beer. So let's hope that stays the same.
All right. Which beer is their marquee beer? That's signature beer, Daniel.
Thank you. I appreciate that, because when you use big words, I'm always like, what kind of beer is a marquee beer? I've had a lot of beers. I've never had a marquee beer.
I got you back.
Thank you.
So A, Anton Francois.
Your French is amazing.
C'est la Saison. C, the Commodore. D, a votre santé.
Oh, wow.
Or E, Tiffany just wanted to attempt to pronounce all these with a terrible French accent.
Well, she did do a French accent, but
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I mean, it's not sure what you did, but it was a valid attempt.
It was terrible. Yeah.
I didn't practice. I hope you realize
also,
that.
I swapped out the red wine glass beer that I drank out of last time for this little doohickey I found.
Oh, look at that little guy.
Yeah. Very excited about this.
So I'm between two different ones. I saw Vero just chime in and say A, which chances are that's 100% what I should go with.
Yeah.
Because Anton Francois, I assume, is probably some type of relative or family member. It's probably one of their flagship beers that they started with that stuck around. It's, maybe even be an old family variation on something. But I kind of also just wanted to be the Commodore. Just because
it's a great name.
I don't know why.
That's a fun beer to order. I'll have the Commodore, please.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds like you're ordering something real fancy.
True story. But I think I agree. Well, I agree with Vero in the sense that it's A, but I think it's because it's probably a relative or a family member of some sort that there was one of their original beers.
I would just like to point out that all of my French was actually learned from Monty Python. All of my British accents.
This makes
walks, sense. They're all from Python. So accurate.
All right, Phil, what do you think?
I'm gonna follow suit just because I'm with you on that one, and then when Vero says A, I just kind of go, it's probably A. So.
I'm gonna have to start turning off the chat on the right hand side so I can't see Vero's answers.
Yeah. All right, Tiffany, what is it?
And actually, Daniel, that is the beer we had.
Was it?
Anton is a family name in my family. In fact, my brother is the fourth Anton.
Well, I knew that.
What?
I knew that.
Well, yeah, I know. It was a fun fact. Much like the meat packing facility. My brother's name is Anton. My dad's name was Anton. My grandpa's name, his dad. All right. So, all of those beers are actual names of their beers. So the Commodore is.
You have a Commodore?
Yes, it is a Russian Imperial Stout.
Send it to me.
That makes sense.
The Votre Sanche is a. It's
so bad.
It's an amber brown ale mixed with like a Belgian, so it's got like some dry yeast, like a little more fruity flavors. So it's similar to like a Belgian strong ale. And then the Anton Francois is the flagship, which is their farmhouse ale, but it is an amber ale, like mixed with the saison. I think that was that all of them? I think that was all of them.
In my defense, though, you were like, we had that one, and like now that you've done trivia, you remember that, but that had to be like 1,000 beers ago.
No, I remembered it because I had AJ's name on it, and I sent it to him, and then I was like, we've had that, and I straight went to Untapped, and I was like, true story. I remembered even on COVID. COVID didn't even COVID.
Wow,
like on COVID. It's more like, oh, I wasn't done. It's fine. Yeah, that is 2 different family names. Continue.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. I mean, it does, but true or false? The only reason they opted for a French-themed brewery was due to their family heritage, but it's working. Sorry, there's an explanation there, but it's working.
Thank you. I was like, honestly, I didn't even understand it because you didn't use the exclamatory that I was expecting.
I think it'd be funny if this was false because it's not working and they're like failing.
I wanted to be false because they didn't do it solely because of family heritage. I'm sure there was some other reasons involved, but it's working. Like, so the first quarter of it's false, but it's working. No, but actually, yeah. I mean, in all honesty, with the French background and everything, sure. I think it would be true.
Yeah, because why else are you doing a French-themed brewery if you don't have any reference to it?
Right.
You know?
I mean, I don't know. I can't think of another French-themed brewery, so I mean, that alone kind of sticks out a little bit to me.
That's true. Maybe they just found something that there weren't a lot of.
True.
Decent business model. Yeah.
I mean, we're drinking. This will be our second beer from them, and we're across the United States from them, so it is working. So I'm sticking with true as well. That seems to be the general consensus in the room as well.
I'm also going true.
Okay. Well, Andy's also going bandwagon. At least he's honest.
It's either true or false, Andy. It's not bandwagon.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is like true-ish. I realized, like, just sitting here. Well, hold on. I realized sitting here reading this that I kind of worded it like an asshole. Big surprise. And so it is true. They did opt to make it a French-themed brewery because it was family heritage, but also they were coming into Denver, where Denver was like heavily populated with breweries, and there wasn't a French-themed brewery, and so it was their one way to stand out. And I think they opened in like 2013, so they've been around for a long time.
Okay. Well, so, that's kind of like we're kind of right then.
Yeah.
Because we even said like that's a great like weird business angle to take, but it sounds like if they were coming into Denver and that wasn't available, it makes sense.
Maybe we should open a brewery with that kind of business sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will say I don't think of like if I walked by it, I was like, that's a French style brewery. I wouldn't be like, it would just be I would be unexpected. So I guess maybe I'd go in, but it's not the first country I think of when I think of beer.
Right. I would 100% go in because it's not the first country I think of.
Yeah.
So like for me, well, one, anything Saison. I don't care if it's in French. It could be in Mandarin. If it says Saison with a bunch of letters before it, I'm like, well, I'll give it a try. Yeah. Well, I'll do one. Rude boy. But
I got one for you. I'll send it to you. It's a 12%er though.
Now, so I think at this point in the game for us, because Tiffany and I have both had just a shit ton of beer. I think every time we go anywhere, we're always looking for something that's out of the normalcy or a little different than what we're used to. So, in that sense, from the beer market standpoint, I think it's a great leg to stand on. That hey, we do something different than everyone else in this area.
Yeah, for sure. Tiffany, be ready for the next one? I didn't want to jump on you.
I don't. Yeah. Cool. True or false? Many French farmhouse recipes were lost after World War II. World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Correct
Wow.
answer.
Not true or false. Maybe I don't read that.
I mean, this would kind of make sense, but I don't know. It's
For me, I'm only going false here because I don't think we've had a false yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless she's getting real tricky and she's just like, I'm gonna go trues across the board, throw them off.
Well, she's also like COVID drugged up, so
That's true.
She could not realize how many trues she's put in a row because it felt like 4 hours that it took.
It did. It took me a really long time. I kept getting distracted, or forgetting. I would just be there and then I'd kind of just zone out. So
shit. Vero said true.
Uh-oh.
I thought you were supposed to turn the comments off, Daniel.
Sorry. Well, we've both already said false, I think.
Yeah, we both had already said false.
So we've already given our answers. No going back. So Tiffany, tell us it's true.
False.
It is true.
Damn it.
They're puppets.
So sadly, a lot of the traditional French farmhouse recipes were lost to World War II, but the Diebolt family has done a lot of research to try and make their saisons what it would have been like traditionally in France before World War II. And so they're trying to kind of bring that back in a sense.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool stuff. I haven't opened.
Maybe that's why we don't think of the French as being beer people. They lost all their recipes.
That's fair.
All
right.
Wait.
Tiffany hasn't even drank this beer yet, but we need to review it.
Wait. Hold on. I got my little taster mug.
Tiffany's jacked up on 4 days of acetaminophen, so she's got to be easy on beer. So she's taking a tiny little shot of beer to try it.
Also, Vero. Look. It's the holiday armadillo.
It's the content people are here for.
I know.
All right. So, for those of you unfamiliar with the show, this is the portion where we're basically just gonna actually review and go through a little bit of what we're getting from this beer. And the beer tonight is Tiffany. Pronounce it again.
Saison.
From
Diebolt.
Perfect. So this is a saison. They have it listed as a winter saison, which is kind of fun. So Phil, please don't let Tiffany go first.
I haven't even tried it yet.
Exactly.
I heard I was doing a little reading about this beer, and normally, so this is an ongoing series with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've changed it up a bunch, and this is the first one apparently not barrel aged.
Okay.
So I'm interested with that. A lot of the Untapped reviews were like, "Oh, the port is really coming through," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And so I found out they've kept the same Untapped for it. So it's very confusing.
Gotcha.
So this is their first one. So you want me to go first?
I do.
Oh man,
I don't think you drink many saisons, so I think it might be fun.
Oddly enough, this is the second French saison I've had now this week, which is hilarious because that's what I had at the brewery I found.
That makes sense.
So I kind of knew what to expect from it, and they are super similar. I think with it being the winter saison, this one's darker than the one I had earlier, and it's stronger than the one I had for sure. And it's a little spicier. So you were right thinking you were going to get some spice. We're going to get. There is a little something in the saison that I don't love, so it's not my favorite kind of style of beer.
Remember?
Yeah.
The wet blanket or whatever it was.
Yeah. But I like this one. I think it's good. It's sweeter than I expected.
Yep.
But I think like the French Saison is supposed to be kind of fruity and refreshing and sweet. So the fact that it's a 9%er, but it doesn't like kill you, but you definitely know it's a 9%er at the same time, I like. I'm going to go with a 3.75 on this one.
Nice. So for me, I love all things Saison. It's one of anything farmhouse is one of my favorite styles, as we've talked about multiple times. This one is fun and different than a lot of your what I would consider a traditional Saison, even though this is probably closer to what a traditional Saison would taste like. But American traditional Saisons that have been pumped out over the past years. This one's a little bit cleaner. It's definitely a little boozier to be at 9%, which does not hurt my feelings at all. Especially being that they listed it as a winter Saison, because you do get a lot more of like that wintry spice mix, so to speak. So it almost feels like it's warming in your throat, like a much boozier drink than it is, which is fun.
Like a rude boy.
Good Lord, they've... Boy, if anybody can warm your throat up, it's a rude boy. All right. No, but I think you do get a lot more of that spice mixture in this than I get in a lot of other Saisons, which makes it fun. I think if they didn't list it as a winter Saison, I'd have been really confused. I'd been like, what the hell? This is like almost like maltier and spicier and way too boozy for a Saison. But as soon as you throw winter in front of it, it's kind of exactly what I expected. That being said, I love the color of it. It's darker than what I expected, which is fun as well. I'm gonna give this a 4 any day of the week.
Nice. I was wondering where you were going with that. I couldn't tell if you were going to end up being like it's not for me or if it is, but
no.
I'm with you on that. And it's the can thing. It's you've got to write on the can what you expect, and I think you're happy that it is exactly what you expected.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Tiffany, how was your sip out of your?
It burns my throat because it is boozy, and my throat is it's been better. So that was step one. Not their fault though. That's my bad. It definitely has like a peppery like spice to it, which
good. So you haven't lost your taste with COVID.
No, that was still there.
Omicron variant.
Good. I was wondering about that. If we could actually have you rate this one tonight.
Yeah, no.
Tiffany's like, kind of water.
It's kind of liquidy. Good. Don't have to chew it. That's great. No, it's like it's got a really good flavor. It is boozy. And I don't know if that's because, like I said, it burned my throat because I literally can't drink anything but tea currently or hot things and honey. So it's good though. Like, I just don't think this is something that I would frequent because it is boozy and that's just not my thing. If I'm going to drink a Saison, even like a winter Saison, I'd rather it still be a lower ABV and like just add the spices to like the lower ABV. So I'm going to give it a 3.5 because even though it is like a mild, it's fine. I'm just going to stop talking actually. because I'm like trying to think as I'm speaking and I don't think it's going to work out for me today.
That's fair.
3.5.
All right.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I agree, Vera. I think because it's the winter holiday kind of Saison, I think it would go well with a nice dinner like that. It's spicy, so she loves the food pairing. Yeah.
Love it. I usually just drink my dinner.
So we gave Les Saison from Diebolt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
3.75.
You're making fun of me.
I know.
I'm the one in a French country.
Wow.
Working with French people.
Wow.
Doing great over here. We have some untaps though. You guys want to go through some untaps?
Yeah, let's do a couple of them. Let's see them.
All right. We'll go quick through these so they're not that great.
This is
Setting it
basically
up
just a
real
part of the
nice.
show where we make fun of other people's Untapped reviews of the same beer we just had.
It's kind of our way of telling brewers that we respect them and we understand how much Untapped sucks.
Because
So,
every brewery and everyone we've ever had on this show who is within the industry is like, oh, cut me loose before we get to the Untapped, before you guys review it on Untapped. Before then, I'm like, we
Yeah.
get it. Nobody likes Untapped, but I enjoy it.
We forgot to talk about the saisons.
Way to go.
that's all right. We kind of went through it at this
Sure.
point.
Yeah. Cool.
That's
All right.
this is pretty accurate to exactly like it's got a little bit of funkiness to it, like I like from the saisons, and a little bit of Christmas, holiday, winter, whatever you celebrate. Jam on it.
Winter warmer. Yes.
I agree with this Mike character. However, I think he's made some poor clothing choices.
I think that's a Halloween costume. It looks like it's one
He
of those.
doesn't specify that, so I just now have to assume that that's a lifestyle for Mike.
I like his real short, stubby, fat glass. Look at that little thing.
That's the
Like it's not that much taller than the can.
yeah, that's the same one that I have from Virginia Beer Company. So it's super thin on the bottom and it flares out on the top, so it makes it shorter.
Well, Mike, we are not friends, but we did request to be yours after this. So
yes,
we'll see. See if he comes.
He won't.
No.
Strong.
So this
bite.
one actually, this is kind of like what Tiffany was saying, the strong bite.
Yeah. And I think if you're a person that doesn't drink or hasn't drank a lot of a higher grain alcohol, if you're not used to like a boozy bite, that's the only thing you get out of anything that has like a higher ABV. To where when somebody's drank like a heavy bourbon or something like that, they can kind of get rid of that heavy alcohol bite and still taste the flavors. And I think a lot of times that's what it is with beer as well. It's like, and not to say Tiffany's this way, but like I normally drink like 4, 5, 6% on a regular basis, and then all of a sudden I have an 8%, and good Lord, it tastes like I just drank, bourbon out of the barrel.
Yeah. I would say that this is not a beginner beer person's beer.
Oh no, absolutely. Most saisons aren't.
Yeah,
they're sure. Anton Francois.
Yeah, stick to that.
Yes, correct.
Thanks, Phil. Phil, you sent a beer?
You sent a beer to Jean-Claude?
Jean-Claude. I sent
him
through Beer Drop, apparently. So
okay.
You're welcome, Jean-Claude.
Did you send it to Phil? Okay, all right, got it. Oh, he had it in a bottle variation. That's what you were saying.
So this is one of the older ones. This is one of the barrel. So
it's Chardonnay barrel. I bet that's delicious.
Yeah. And that's I only the review just said they left it in their cellar for 2 years.
Oh, that's
I don't think that's a great idea.
The only reason I really brought this one up, one was to see the old bottle, which I think looks really cool, and I would like to try that one as well.
We're in Virginia. You know we love Cardinals.
But as far as like cellaring. That's a weird word too. I do see a lot of people like age their beers, and what is going on?
Now, honestly, I think this is a question for somebody who really understands the fermentation process, because for me, it just like wine and other things, I think there are beers that'll age better, or there's the one we just did on our Instagram that was the lambics. That one double ferments. It ferments further in the bottle after you let it go for a while. But there are some beers that'll just go funky and that are made to be drank like sooner rather than later. So like a lot of like your New England IPAs and stuff, you'll see it like keep cold, drink fresh.
Drink
like
with
right, yeah, it'll go bad. Like it'll go to shit even if you. So I think there's variations of beer that I'm sure hold up way better in that situation that are made for it. Do I actually know the process on that? Absolutely not. Look at me. I'm in bed, for God's sakes.
All right. Well, that's it for Diebolt. I guess we got one other thing to do, which I'm sure Tiffany is prepared for.
Yeah, you know she is. All right. So for those of you who are wondering why we would just post the name of our show over again. No. This is where we typically take a minute to reflect on something that we wish was actually beer, versus what it really is. So it basically just gives us a chance to talk about something either that we're pissed off about, or that we really care about, or that we thought about today on the toilet 10 minutes before this, that we wish was beer instead of what it actually is. So that being said, honestly, I'm gonna let Tiffany go first because I think she's earned it.
Yeah. So for those of you who have been watching for a long time, we've always been very adamant about being vaccinated and being boosted and like highly cautious when we do things. I mean, we are.
Our Instagram says otherwise, but
we was in the strip club.
I got in an argument in Florida with a dude because I was wearing a mask and he called me out on it, and I was like, "Yeah." And then you know who didn't get COVID in Florida? This kid. You know who got COVID? I don't even know how. This kid. I work from home. I don't even leave. Yeah. So I let my guard down, much like most people at this point, and why most people have gotten Omicron. It is highly transmissible and it is very easy to catch, apparently. Yeah. So everyone else in the house has tested negative. Daniel's waiting on additional test results to make sure. I had 2 negative rapid tests, and then my PCR finally came back positive, and that was not as much of a relief as I thought it was going to be. Like, I was like, oh, crap. And then I felt like I had to, like, it was almost worse because of how guilty I felt to, like, have to go, like, tell everyone. Like,
Tiffany called every sexual partner like she had AIDS. I was like, Tiffany, everyone in the world is dealing with COVID right now. Like, you don't have to call every person you've seen in a year.
Yeah, you do.
Whoever gave it to you didn't call you.
Correct.
I don't know who gave it to me.
Because I can't memorize your number.
Yeah.
But yeah,
out there letting COVID in from whoever feels like giving it to her.
So yeah, I even texted Andy and Katie. But yeah, it sucks for sure. It is no joke considering I am also boosted, and this is day 4 of being pretty miserable. So be careful, especially those who are not vaccinated. So I'll be off my soapbox. I'm going to finish drinking my liquid acetaminophen so I can go to sleep.
Solid. All right, Daniel, what's yours?
Mine's pretty simple. I wish software were beer, so that I wouldn't mind trying a new one. We switched over to new software at work, and it's going to be great, and it's going to be more efficient than anything we've ever had before. But it's also going to create a lot of headaches and has already created a lot of other things. So I just wish software were beer, so I could be like, oh, a new software? Can put it down the hatch.
Yeah, you'd be excited. You get the new flavor software. You get the new.
Woo! I'd be like, that's
maybe it's a Saison software. You'd be all about it.
If you create a Saison software, I will punch you in the mouth.
Maybe you should have spent a little more time on training.
Is this really the work conversation you want to have on your acetaminophen high? This is really where you want to go.
I feel your pain too, because at my work, they're also thinking about changing the software soon, and I'm the one who would have to like organize it all.
Oh, I don't have to
we just did it 2 years ago, and now we're wanting to do it again, and I'm like,
you got to keep up with the times, man. Got to stay relevant.
I just want to go to the beach. That's all. Isn't that why I'm here?
True.
Apparently not. All right.
That being said, what do you got, Phil?
So I wish
Rude Boys were beer.
Rude Boys were beer. Because then I'd have 3 beers here instead of 3 Rude Boys. Which I'll still drink.
Andy,
it's
Andy wishes dog hair was beer because he would mind that it's everywhere. And then and maybe it's just COVID, Tiffany. I don't understand what this is. Tiffany canned this one because COVID.
We gotta stop celebrating
We
his
got-
typos.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
And Katie, I wish working meal was beer because I wouldn't be so behind, but I'd be super drunk. I'm for that one.
Yeah, all for that one.
Yeah.
Andy, I don't know when you started drinking, but good on
He
you.
told you
man.
earlier in the comments he was on like a 13 plus Russian Imperial Stout. So
Oh, I missed
Oh,
that.
That's almost like a rude boy extreme.
stop. We gotta reach out to them and be like, hey, by the way, you owe us like at least $37.
Or 37 rude boys. I take that.
I said $37. I think $37 might be worth more. All right. What the hell are we doing next week?
Oh yeah, we got
Another
We
beer.
do have a beer next week, I assume.
We do. We are drinking. Oh, that's a fun one.
Inhabited form from Cerebral Brewing. Whew.
Form from.
Form from.
And the best part is, because I got
in
the
the
fridge
fridge.
right here, I can pull this bitch out. There it is.
I like its little face.
Yeah, I like this can art. I like the simplicity of it. Is this a brain or a hop? Or is it a hop brain?
Hop brain? No, maybe just a brain. Because cerebral is like brain.
Yeah, so it's like a brain but a hop.
I mean, it's like brain thinking. I think. Back here. Anyway, it's fine.
This is a dry hopped oat lager.
I know. So I'm looking forward to this one because Coastal, who we've had on the show, did a oat pale ale that was super good. So the idea of like a dry hopped oat lager sounds even more interesting as well. And then on top of that too,
it was in a fooder.
It was in a fooder. I saw that. So for whatever reason, this is the one can in our fridge that I keep accidentally grabbing that's in the beer show section. And I'm like, oh, I drink this. And like I keep trying to walk into the house with it. And I'm like, oh, that's a show beer.
It's in the door. You can't.
I know, but I'm
excited about this one because I do know I love Galaxy and Citra hops.
Correct.
So that excites me.
You throw those in a fooder?
It's put it in a fooder for an American oak fooder.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's what they call me at Rude Boys.
They call you an American oak fooder.
So it says it was in an oak barrel for 3 weeks, a stainless for 3 weeks. I'm excited.
Yeah, I like it.
Closing the fridge.
I love how long of a reach for that.
I've got this rude boy in me. I'm on another planet right now.
All right. Well,
next time I see you, I will have been on an island for 2 weeks. So my island fever is going to get worse and worse every week.
No, I love
my fever broke. So
hopefully I'll get tanner every episode too. Hopefully that'll happen.
I will only get more white from here on out. And we had to like try to set up the lighting in this room because we didn't know what the white lighting was going to be, and it was just pure white face. Like
it was just eyes until we like shifted things around. It was so much worse, Phil. You have no idea.
It was bad. Like I'm already like very like it's I'm already washed out from the light we have. We had to turn off all these lights. Anyway.
That is a different podcast.
That is a way different podcast.
You gotta pay for that one.
Yeah, that's my
50% off right now if you go through my Twitter. Oh no, okay.
No, if you go through my fooder, it's 100% off.
All right.
Well,
thank everyone for stopping by as always. Honestly, we really appreciate this. This started out as a fun way for Phil and I to have a beer, and Tiffany and I and Phil and everybody to have a beer and hang out. So it's been a lot of fun, and we really appreciate everybody stopping by every week. Make sure you like and subscribe it. That's really the only thing that potentially for some dumb reason pays us for this shit. So if you do that, that would be great. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter if you'd like, Facebook if you'd like. Check out our actual website, wishyouwerebeershow.com. Follow the beers we get. Try to find some of the ones that we get so you can come have them with us next week and next month and next year. Other than that, again, thanks for stopping by. Like and subscribe. We're going to go deal with COVID shits.